This is my commentary on Emerald Tablets 8, the Key of Mysteries. Let's see how this one goes. Unto thee, O man, have I given my knowledge. Unto thee have I given of light. Hear ye now and receive my wisdom, brought from space planes, from above and beyond. Not as man am I, for free have I become of dimensions and planes. In each take I on a new body. In each I change in my form. Know I now that the formless is all there is of form. I think we kind of talked about that in one of the previous videos, that what form you take is really dependent on what dimension that you're in. In third dimension, where we are, and fourth dimension and fifth dimension, you're in a body. It's just how heavy is that body. I know for sure, like, once you get to the ninth dimension and whatnot, you're just light. That's it. You're light. No body at all. I don't know about, I can't remember which dimension it is that you cease to have a body. I think it's number 6, but I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that one. So what he says there just just makes sense, right? You take on the form that's appropriate for whatever dimension you're hanging out in. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say on that one. Great is the wisdom of the 7. Mighty are they from beyond. Manifest they through their power, filled by force from beyond. And that's just him mentioning the ether without saying the word ether again. Hear ye these words of wisdom. Hear ye and make them thine own. Find in them the formless. Find ye the key to beyond. Mystery is but hidden knowledge. Know, and ye shall unveil. Find the deep buried wisdom, and be master of darkness and light. And where my brain goes with that one is, we as a people, and I know there was nothing we could have done to stop it, should never have knowledge that was forced to go underground, right? Because what he's talking about here of mystery being hidden knowledge is the mystery schools. The things that Jesus did, when he was in Tibet and things like that. Mystery schools are still around today. Hard to get into. You got to go through initiation processes, and sometimes you got to be servants for 5-10 years before they'll even teach you anything, just to prove to them how dedicated you are to learning whatever it is you're wanting to learn, right? Should never have been forced to have happened. I understand why it did. I understand the necessity of it. Doesn't mean I like it. Deep are the mysteries around thee, hidden the secrets of old. Search through the keys of my wisdom, surely shall ye find the way. I wonder if you can attend mystery school through astral traveling. The gateway to power is secret, but he who attains shall receive. Look to the light, O my brother. Open, and ye shall receive. Press on through the valley of darkness. Overcome the dweller of night. Keep thine eyes to the light plain, and thou shalt be one with the light. Sorry, my mind keyed on that. Press on through the valley of darkness, overcome the dweller of night. And that's got me wondering, it is this chapter. It is this text. We get to get into a controversial topic tonight. Yay! How fun. Basically, those two lines are referring to the entities that were forced to live underground. One of the ones that altered our DNA in a negative fashion. And no, I'm not talking Anunnaki. Because the Anunnaki initially were altering our DNA to fix what was done by these people that are mentioned in this passage. Yeah. This text may or may not be well received by whoever watches this. I'm not sure I want to read the comments on this one. We'll see. Man is in the process of changing to forms that are not of this world. Grow he in time to the formless, a plane of the cycle above. And actually at this particular time, and I don't know how many centuries it's going to take, but we're going to be changing from this physical form to a crystalline form. And our DNA is already starting to change now. Know ye, ye must become formless before ye are one with the light, which means we have to evolve even past the crystalline form into whatever is next and whatever is next until we actually reach that light form. List ye, O man, to my voice, telling of pathways to light, showing the way of attainment, when ye shall be one with the light. Search ye the mysteries of earth's heart. Learn of the law that exists. And he actually capitalizes law in big letters this time instead of the little letters he usually uses to capitalize things. So lots of emphasis on law, which of course is required to have balance and actually be able to attain what we need to attain. Hold the stars in their balance by the force of the primordial mist. Seek ye the flame of the earth's life. Bathe in the glare of its flame. Follow the three-cornered pathway until thou, too, art a flame. So like a triangular pathway. That's interesting because he said that the pathway to the halls of Amenti is a circular passageway. It's just a long hollow cylinder. So where do we find a triangular pathway? The ones in the pyramid are rectangular. Unless I don't know enough about the pyramid. I do want to get the book on the pyramid that this guy wrote as well. And yes, I do need to delve into Melchizedek at some point. It's just not quite on my radar yet. Speak thou in words without voice. telepathy, to those who dwell down below. Enter the blue-litten temple and bathe in the fire of all life. Know, O man, that thou art complex, a being of earth and of fire. Let thy flame shine out brightly. Be thou only the fire. What I learned recently is the earth portion of the body is our, the organs, the bones, and all that stuff. I had never thought to correlate the elements to the physical body. So that's very interesting. Wisdom is hidden in darkness, when lit by the flame of the soul. Find thou the wisdom and be light-born, a son of the light without form. Seek thee evermore wisdom, find it in the heart of the flame. Know that only by striving can light pour into thy brain. I like how he describes the light coming down into your head as pouring into it. That's very interesting. Now have I spoken with wisdom. List to my voice and obey. Tear open the veils of the darkness. He didn't use the word rend there. He just said tear it. Shine a light on the way. Speak I of ancient Atlantis. Speak of the days of the kingdom of shadows. Speak of the coming of the children of shadows. Out of the great deep they were called by the wisdom of earthmen, called for the purposes of gaining great power. Far in the past, before Atlantis existed, men there were who delved into darkness, using dark magic, calling up beings from the great deep below us. Forth they came into this cycle. Formless they were, or were they, of another vibration, existing unseen by the children of earthmen. Only through blood could they have formed being. Only through man could they live in the world. I'm going to keep going before I share my comments. In ages past were they conquered by the masters, driven below to the place whence they came. Because there's a lot of history here. That's why I'm waiting until I read more. I may share that history at the end, but we'll see. Okay. But some there were who remained, hidden in spaces and planes unknown to man. Lived they in Atlantis as shadows, but at times they appeared among men. When the blood was offered, forth came they to dwell among men. In the form of man, moved they amongst us, but only in sight were they are as men. Too many words there. Basically, when we were able to see them, they looked like a human being. Serpent-headed when the glamour was lifted, but appearing to man as men among men. Crept they into the councils, taking form that were like unto men, slaying by their arts the chiefs of the kingdoms, taking their form and ruling o'er man. Only by magic could they be discovered. Only by sound could their faces be seen. Sought they from the kingdom of shadows to destroy man and rule in his place. He's talking about reptilians, in case anybody didn't know that. But know ye, the masters were mighty in magic, able to lift the veil from the face of the serpent, able to send him back to his place. Came they to man and taught him the secret, the word that only a man can pronounce. Swift then they lifted the veil from the serpent and cast him forth from the place among men. Yet beware, the serpent still liveth in a place that is open at times to this world, but not always. Unseen they walk among thee, in places where the rites have been said, sacred locations. Again, at time, or as time passes onward, shall they take the semblance of men. Called they may be by the master who knows the white or the black, magic, but only the white master may control and bind them while in the flesh. Yeah. Seek not the kingdom of shadows, for evil will surely appear. For only the masters of brightness shall conquer the shadow of fear. Wondering how far I should read before I get into what I know. Know ye, O my brother, that fear is an obstacle great. And my understanding, that's what they feed off of. They want us to fear. They want us divided because that gives them power. That gives them energy. And that gives them the ability to do whatever they want. Because we're feeding them. Which is why it's so important to overcome the fear. Be master of all in the brightness. The shadow will soon disappear. Hear ye and heed my wisdom. The voice of light is clear. Seek not the valley of shadow, and light only will appear. List ye, O man, to the depths of my wisdom. Speak I of knowledge hidden from man. Far have I been on my journey through space-time, even to the end of the space of this cycle. Found I there the great barrier, holding man from leaving this cycle. Oh, then it goes into that. Okay. I will pause there, share what I know, and all what may sound craziness. Yeah. Okay. So, after we were finally bipeds and able to somewhat function, the reptilians arrived on planet. They stripped us down from being a 12-strand DNA biped to being a 2-strand DNA biped. Okay? And we were just totally their slaves and just horrendous. And the Galactic Council had to respond because of how many of the universal laws these people were breaking with regards to us. But because they had altered our DNA so much, when they sat down with the council, they said, we were here before they are. before they were, because we were no longer the humans that were modified by the Lemurians. Just the way it was. Some of the reptilians then left the planet, but most of them went underground because they were here first, right? So my understanding now, and you know, clearly there was a war in Atlantis's days. Some idiots went down there, let them out. War happened. They won, beat them back down into there. Everything was back to being hunky-dory. But there's more to read on that in the text here. The Galactics have a non-interference policy, and they keep leaning on that incorrectly, because there's never been, with relation to us as whatever we are as a species, because we keep being altered both by evolution and by genetic manipulation, even by our own genetic manipulation, if you understand what's going on within our own dimension, without the added bullshit from these four-dimensional reptilian entities. Okay? But that's why people can't see them generally, because they're fourth dimension, we're third dimension. But they also, like I said, have dimension. You know, but he said they have technology to make themselves look human. What I do find interesting is he said that there's a word we can use to reveal them, but he does not include that in this text. I was actually hoping it would be here, and I've read this entire thing. That word is not in here. So I'm curious. Again, where's the word? I want it to. Yeah, I probably just lost people there, but that's history, right? And a lot of people who are doing the channeling, who have accessed that information. One person in particular that I follow, and I absolutely adore her, what she was shown was the reptilians walking with the dinosaurs, right? But when we were first on land, we were food for the dinosaurs. We were actually here before the reptilians, but we were modified by the reptilians when they came. So when she was shown that, she was shown what they wanted her to see. Right. She was shown a small portion of that history. She was not shown the whole thing. So there's that. Okay. Now this next part I find even more interesting than the fact that the Atlanteans battled the reptilians. Yeah, I'm hoping I can make more sense of this portion at this time, because this one had me pausing a lot when I was reading this portion on the initial read through. Okay, found I there the Great Barrier, holding man from leaving this cycle. I find that in itself very interesting. Why would a great barrier be erected to keep us from leaving this cycle? Most people then were not astral traveling. So is there always a barrier for each cycle? That sentence right there just evokes so many more questions in my mind. I glimpsed the hounds of the barrier, laying in wait for he who would pass them. In that space where time exists not, Faintly I sensed the guardians of the cycle. Sorry, of the cycles. That's plural there. Move they only through angles. And that one took me quite a bit on the first reading, because when I first saw it, I wanted to read angels, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not angels. And I'm like, moving only through angles, that just didn't compute. But when you think about this in terms of sacred geometry, it's moving through various shapes, which again is highly curious and really makes me think this portion is very much coded. Again, I have not read the commentary from the author of the book on this one. Not since number 4. Free are they not of the curved dimensions. So basically the circle, sphere, toroid, the hounds of the barrier cannot enter those types of spaces. So again, extremely curious. Strange and terrible are the hounds of the barrier. Follow they consciousnesses to the limits of space. Think not to escape by entering your body, for follow they fast the soul through angles. So if you're out there astral traveling, don't just jump into your body, because they're still gonna get you. Only the circle will give you protection, save from the claws from the dweller in angles. And this is another time when he puts dweller in angles in caps again. The little tiny caps, and you're like, so I'm wondering if he's calling, well, no, hounds is capitalized too. I'm wondering if there's one specific hound that's like the leader that he calls the dweller in the angles. Once in a time past, I approached the great barrier and saw on the shores where time exists not the formless forms of the hounds of the barrier. I, hiding in the mist beyond time, I found them, and they, scenting me far off, raised themselves and gave the great bell cry that can be heard from cycle to cycle, and moved through space toward my soul. Now that makes me wonder if they themselves can move into different cycles, and then call the hounds that are guarding other cycles into this one. More questions. I should actually start writing down these questions I have so I can try to find more information on them. Fled I then fast before them, back from time's unthinkable end, but ever they pursued me, or pursued they. Sorry. Ever after me pursued they, moving in strange angles not known to man. So I'm wondering if they had like the tetrahedron and things like that going on. I, on the gray shore of the time-space's end, found I the hounds of the barrier, ravening for the soul who attempts the beyond. Fled I through circles back to my body, fled and fast after me they followed. I, after me, the devourers followed, seeking through angles to devour my soul. I know ye, man, that the soul who dares the barrier may be held in bondage by the hounds from beyond time. Held till this cycle is all complete and left behind, when the consciousness leaves. Entered I, my body, created the circles that know not angles, created the form that from my form was formed. Made my body into a circle and lost the pursuers in the circles of time. But even yet, when free from my body, cautious ever must I be, not to move through angles, else my soul might never be free. So he thinks that they chased him back, and they're still searching in the angles to find him. So that may be something else we need to keep in mind when we do astral travel, is how do we do it? I think it's more than a simple thing. He makes it sound simple, but I think it's more than a simple thing. Know ye, the hounds of the barrier move only through angles, and never through curves of space. Only by moving through curves can ye escape them. For in angles they will pursue thee. O man, heed ye my warning. Seek not to break open the gate at beyond. I'm not sure anybody would want to do that. But yeah, don't break the gate if you decide to astral travel. Few there are who have succeeded in passing the barrier to the greater light that shines beyond. For know ye, ever the dwellers seek such souls to hold in their thrall. For those that don't know, thrall is prison or slavery, bondage. Not good. You're already in slavery being in a human body. You don't want to be in thrall status. Listen, O man, and heed ye my warning. Seek ye to move not in angles, but curves. And if while free from thy body, thou hearest the sound like the bay of a hound, ringing clear and bell-like through thy being, flee back to thy body through circles. Penetrate not the mist before. When thou hast entered the form thou hast dwelt in, use thou the cross and the circle combined. Combine them. Open thy mouth and use thou thy voice. Utter the word, again that's in capitalized, and thou shalt be free. Only the one who of light has the fullest another sentence that makes no sense. Only the one who of light has the fullest can open to pass by the guards of the way. I think that has extra words in it. Basically, be as full of light as you can when you're passing that way. And then must he move through strange curves and angles that are formed in the direction not known to man. List ye, O man, and heed ye my warning. Attempt not to pass the guards in the way. Rather should ye seek to gain of thine own light, and make thyself ready to pass on the way. Light is thine ultimate end, O brother. Seek and find ever the light on thy way. See, he ends that without giving the word for the guard, without the word for the serpent people, which quite frankly is probably the same word, because I think it's like a revelation type of a word. Yeah. I just kind of flip back to the last paragraph here by Dr. Dorial here. And he's saying that the end of the cycle is Suntal. Okay. So Dr. Dorian did put the word in here. Where he got the word, I do not know, because this word is not in this text anywhere. I don't know if I should share that word. Because he says, okay, what he says is these serpents were using a hypnotic glamour around them so that they would appear to be human. And that's why the myth exists today that some snakes have a hypnotic ability. And they killed some of the leaders and used their hypnotic thing to pretend to be those leaders. And that's how they came to take control of nations. And there are some that say today that that's what's happening now. And it may be the next text. I'll know pretty soon because I'm going to do the next text next. There's a passage in here somewhere that states that the serpents will rise again. And I'm pretty sure that the text about the darkness below coming back up again and needing the spaceship that Thoth buried beneath the Sphinx was in reference to the serpent men. Okay. So basically, what he was meaning on the word for the serpent men, he just calls them serpent in here. Is there was one word that the serpent men were not able to pronounce in the human language. So that's what he was meaning. Not because I was thinking he meant that you stated that word and you'd be able to see through their disguise. But he is saying that they just can't say it, and them not being able to pronounce that word is how you know what they are. Oh, it became law that every man must be able to pronounce the word before they could take office. And they had to do it every lunar month. Interesting. Okay, so the word is Kininigen. Kininigen. Okay, so beyond Suntal is the sixth dimension. So, and that makes sense because we're supposed to be going up to the fifth dimension, which will probably be what ends this cycle of however long this cycle was. Because I only know about the earthly cycles. I don't know about this other cycle. After all, everything is cycles, isn't it? There are many. Okay. I am going to go ahead and close out this one and then eagerly read the next one because I don't remember the next one as well. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, like, share, subscribe. Try to be nice to me in the comments. Have a good night.